Hello, coming at you today with a weighted core day. Everything is going to be focused on the core. So you may feel some arms, you may feel some legs, some back. We definitely want all of those um, muscles to help support. But really, ultimately, what we're going for today is big core activation. Really getting into the muscles of the trunk, the glutes, and those serratus anterior muscles always working to help support all the other functions of our moves. So we are going to be working on a timer today. We have 30 seconds of a set, and then we have 10 seconds to transition. So a lot of times, actually most of the exercises are two sides. So we'll go 30 seconds one way, take a little 10-second breather, 30 seconds the other. So we're going to be at our core, our weighted core sets for 30 rounds. But really ultimately it's just 3 sets of the different moves and exercises. So really quick, let's come in and make sure that we can find our core. So if it's a struggle for you to activate the core, feel the muscles underneath your rib cage, along your obliques, support through getting the pelvis into neutral if you struggle with that still. Then stay super light with your weights and focus on just keeping that flexion of the core through all the different moves. But give it a shot. As long as you're protecting your low back, finding some flexion in through your abdomen, you're going to be fine. Just don't go crazy with your weight. In fact, the first round through, we could stay pretty light and see how it feels and then add into the weight. Inhale, push your chest forward. We're just going to start with some cat-cows. Slide those shoulder blades down. So see if you can find heat or grab in that upper middle back, reaching the shoulders back and down. Also look for some grab in your obliques. We're going to exhale, tuck and round. So pull your low belly back in towards your spinal column. So here, exhale all the way and see if you can find some heat in the belly, in the abs. Inhale, push forward. Feel the back contract. Exhale, round. Exhale everything and feel the belly heat up. Inhale, push forward. Exhale, round. I've also seen this called the hairball, the hairball activator. So think about a cat hawking up a hairball, as gross as that is. I do think it helps bring the idea to the mind of what we're trying to activate and grab as we round the back, pulling that belly in. Nice and tight. Grab, grab, grab. Okay, and then come to neutral. So still hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and let your hips hinge side to side. Big hinge to the right, big hinge to the left. We're going to go twice more each side. And then we're just going to run through everything that we're going to do today without the weight. So I want you to do it with me so that you can feel what you're supposed to be feeling. Try to find any trouble spots, and then we'll rotate from there. So first off, we're going to be doing a halo. So find a set stance. Your knees are soft. Your hips and pelvis are neutral and level. And the core is super activated, right? So all that strength and contraction and grab is holding everything in the upper body on point. So we're going to be holding a weight, and we're just going to go around the head, just at that hairline, like you're going to scalp somebody. So one way, one elbow comes up, then the other. Now go the other. So we're going to be hitting those 30 seconds each, right? All right, from there, we're going to hit a figure 8. So you're going to take maybe a little wider stance, holding your weight with one hand. You're going to thread it underneath to the other. So creating a figure 8. You will take that upper body side to side. Big thing, though, is that you keep your hips hinged back, butt back, back flat. Okay, go the other way, hinge around, hinge around. So right here, you should be able to feel your back contract and the core grab. So you'll get more once you have the added resistance of the weight, but right there without even holding weight, you want to get that activation. Okay, next we'll do a weighted windmill. So let's say your left arm will go up, you'll be holding a weight, optional overhead, and then another one underneath. The hips are going to hinge over and back. Now, depending on your flexibility, Okay, make sure you're trying this out with me right now without weight. Depending on your flexibility, you won't get super far, but make sure the hips go out and back so that you can get range down the side. Then you kind of pop and thrust, your hips back. Try the other side, left or right arm up, left arm down the leg, hinge and lift, hinge, lift, one more, hinge and lift. All right, next we're gonna try a hinge and lift. Okay, so this will be weighted obviously, but if you don't want to, don't hold weight. I'm just gonna be holding a dumbbell. It's gonna come down low. You're gonna grab through the glutes. So this is a big hip thrust, which is a huge part of having a strong and solid core. Grab the abdomen, back is flat. So you're gonna thrust the hips up, thrusting that weight and catching it overhead. Belly strong, we'll drop, thrust it up. Drop, and thrust. So you wanna really feel that upper middle back grabbing and the core contracting to hold support for everything. All right, after that, we're gonna have our plank pass under. So we're gonna hold a plank position, and then with your weight, you're gonna pass it over to one side, plant that hand, pass it over to the other. So actually we'll grab from underneath to the other side. So you get a wide base of support, tuck the tailbone, pass side to side. If you need, you can drop your hips, pass side to side this way. And if you don't plank, I would suggest just a squat with a row. So come here, squat, row with that weight. All right, next up we're gonna do a piece of a Turkish get up, not the full thing, just a piece of it. So you'll be lying on your back on your mat. Your right leg will hang long. Your left arm will hold a weight up overhead. Left leg will be bent. The weight, again, is optional. Right arm out at an angle. Sit up, digging that right heel into the ground. You want to get your arms straight up overhead. Push the hips up into a nice high. It's kind of like a wild thing. And then I just want you to lower back down. That's it. There's a whole other portion to Turkish get-ups, but for today, we're just going to stay in this part, that first little piece. Okay, lower back down, we'll hit the other side, and then we'll start with the weights. Extend the left leg out, right arm up, right leg bent, bring yourself up. Now make sure you keep that heel that's on the ground, that straight leg on the ground. Lower, lower, press up through the elbow, keep that hand up way high, push through the hip. Traditionally, these are done with super heavy weight, and I have not got there. This is not something I do a lot, but I always love how it makes my core feel along those lats in the back through the abdomen when I get them done. All right, we're gonna go for reels now. Find your weight. We're gonna hit our timer. First up is gonna be halos. So you find the weight that works for you. Remember, if you wanna start light and then build up, that's totally fine. Ready, set, go. All right, find your solid stance, elbow up and around. Focus. We're not here for speed. Get that range, lift the chest high up off the rib cage, squeeze between the shoulder blades, belly super strong. As that weight goes behind, it's your job to keep flexing through the abdomen so that you keep your hips and low back safe. Okay, take a little break. Bring it back up. We're gonna go the other direction. So remember which way you just came from. Go. One elbow comes up high and goes around as the other one kind of slides down. So you've got to kind of find a little hinge in the hips to where your tailbone's pointing down at the ground. The belly button's drawing back because we're trying to keep our hips as still as possible. We're working from the core and the upper back. Remember, our goal is core. Take your break. Next up is going to be our halos. I'm sorry, your figure eights. We just did our halos. Ready, set, and go. So you hinge back, swing that weight around. If you have a kettlebell, you can do it with a kettlebell. I wanted to do it with a dumbbell to show you. It's totally doable, but traditionally done with a kettlebell. Butt back, back flat. Can you grab the abdomen anymore? Make sure that you're not rounding in the upper back to find the range to pass the weight. So you're hinging at your hip creases. Take a second. Other side, sit low, belly strong, go. Strong core. Tighten in deep. Focus where the work is coming from. You should be building heat because you're flexing in through that core enough. Squeeze between the shoulder blades. Belly super strong. Time. All right, next up we're going to do that weighted windmill. One arm goes up, one arm goes down. Hinge the hips over. So if your left arm is up, hinge the hips to the left and back. Squeeze around that abdomen. Grab with your oblique. Stack your arms. Make sure that the hand that's in the air is pushing straight up. It's rotating in the shoulder a bit so that you can keep, okay, switch, keep the weight straight up overhead so the work is in your shoulder blade, not the shoulder. Ready, go. Hinge, push up. Belly strong. Find your solid stance at the top. Make sure you're not pushing the hips forward. Hinge that right hip back and over and back. So it's not just straight out to this side, pushing back a little too. Straight arm. And time. Whew, felt that in my oblique. All right, so here's the hip thrust. Find your weight. Hinge, lift, hip thrust. Okay, grab here. Swing it up, grab. Solid core. Knees will be soft. It's kind of like a kettlebell swing, but much slower. Grab through the glutes. Belly button pulls back. Grab around that core. Time. All right, we're going to do our plank pass under. So find your solid plank. The weight is going to be behind your right hand. Grab the weight with your left and pull it over. Make sure that you're not rocking side to side. And then remember, if you don't plank, just hit a squat with a rotation. Flat back as much as possible so that your butt's not poking up. Tuck your tailbone under. Time. All right. Gear up for your Turkish get up, or our first piece of it. So hold your weight in your right hand, left leg straight, right knee is bent. Sit up, hike the hips, lower back down. Lower onto your elbow, roll back. Exhale, push into the heel, scoop it up, hike the hips, lower and lower. Remember, here for core. Time, lower down, and then we're going to go to the other side. If you want true Turkish get-ups, there's many places you can go. Left leg bent, left arm up, to get some really great form cues. As I said, I don't do these a lot, so I do not pretend to be an expert. I know that there's like a Turkish get-up cult out there. But for us, these are awesome for today. Scoop through the belly, push that low back in, hike through the hips, feel that side, and we're there. Okay, going straight back up overhead for halos. No break. Set 2. Find your stance, rotate around that head. Lift the chest off the rib cage. Belly super strong. Just draw a circle. Find that halo all the way around. Flex the core as much as you can. If you do a lot of planks, you know how to grab that core, flex in deep for your plank. So try to find that same thing going on here. See if I can keep, I'll go back and check. I go back and check form a lot. Now I have the videos kind of show me. It's constant progression, constant making it better, more just so that you don't get injured and you get the best part of the move, best work and result from the move. Time. All right, we're gonna go into that figure 8. Next, hinge back, butt down, back is flat. So you're gonna feel your thighs and glutes here a little bit too. Belly strong, push the chest forward. Find your little rhythm. Can you flex any more through the upper back, through those lats? Keep it going. 3, 2, 1. All right, next up, other direction. Ready, set, and go. Butt back, back flat. I gotta watch it myself. My shoulders want to start rounding toward the ground, but then you lose that thick work of the core. And time. Okay, weighted windmills next. You decide your weight selection, whatever will get you better. One arm up, one arm down, hinge, and pull. Getting that weight to set right on top of the shoulder is where you really get the work through the oblique and the lat. Belly strong. Watching that neck. Time. Punch the other arm up. Pretty wide stance. Hinge your hips over. Come on. Here we go. Grab through that oblique. Shoulder blade back and down. I love these two-sided moves. You can really see which side is stronger, which side you need to work on a little more. Oof. All right. Now we're going to do that hinge to thrust. Let's see, go this way. All right, hinge it forward. Press it up nice and straight. There is a swing involved. You're thrusting. Catch with the core, both directions. Shoulders back and down. If you have a kettlebell, you can still use it. Try to control holding on those horns at the top. Okay, plank pass under. and go. Opposite pull. If you get it just outside your hand, you have to tuck under a little more. 5 seconds. All right. Set up for your Turkish get up. I'm going to go left arm, left leg, right leg is straight. Sit up, push on that elbow. Lift the hips nice and high. Contract a second. Lower back down. Push up. Press up through those hips. Drop onto your hip. Lower. Crunch it in. Keep that weight pushing up. Drive through the hips. All right, other side. Left leg straight, right leg bent, right leg holding your weight. Elbow press. Get your hand right under. That's something I have to kind of watch. That supporting arm stays right under the shoulder. I think on the other side, I might have had it back just a little far. Crunch, push that low back into the mat. Lift high out of that rib cage. Lower. Sit up. All right. Set 2 done. Come on up straight into halos. Grab whatever weight you're using for that. Find your stance. Circle the head. Last set for us. Nothing too gnarly today. Just enjoy that work. Knees soft. Keep those hips set. I'm liking the build up on this. I can tell I've been at it a couple rounds. Slide shoulders back and down. Flex deep into that abdomen. Find your core all the way around, wrapped around. One elbow up. Circling the other way now. Can you tighten through the rib cage anymore? Envision somebody's going to go to town punching on your gut. You ready for it? Neck relaxed. Get that full range. One elbow drops a lot, and then the other one lifts. All right, next up we have our figure eights. Butt back and down. Ready, set, and go. Slide it through. Flex the core. Dig deep. Grab all the muscles through the trunk you can into the glutes. Flex more, and time. Then we're going to go the other direction. Ready, set, and go. You're doing great. How much more can you grab and flex? 10 seconds left. Good. All right, weighted windmill. If your right arm is up, left arm down, hinge it over, stack through those arms. Grab through your oblique. 3, 4. You got it. 6, I don't know why I'm counting, but that's okay. Feel that oblique. Made it. That left side for me. Tough for sure. Ready, set, go. Hinge the hips back and down. Contract first, then get the move. Don't rely on the move to get all you need from it. Hinge the hips over, pull up through the oblique. 3 seconds. All right. Our weighted thrust and hold. Our hinge lift. Go. Thrust, grab. Core strong. Flex those glutes. Grab through the upper middle back to catch the swing. Back stays flat. And time. All right. Hitting that pass under. To your weight set. Plank set. Pull across. Pull across. That one arm is a little bit further forward than normally it would be, but we're giving space for the weight to pass through. Find that core, side to side, 3 seconds. Tuck your tailbone, time. All right, we have our first start of the Turkish. Right arm up, right knee bent, sit up, push up through that left side. Lower, roll down slow. Looking good. Shoulder back and down. Soon, on another day, we'll add in that next piece. You have to make sure you're getting your hips up though. Okay, left arm holds the weight. Left knee bent. Grab the core, push into the right elbow. Plant it underneath that shoulder. Hike high through those hips. Lower and lower. Press it up. Keep that left arm right over the shoulder. Lift those hips. And time. Nice job, nice job. All right, so to stretch, we're gonna take, good work. Take your right leg, your right knee, cross it over, right ankle, cross it over the left knee. Pull the legs in, flex both feet back. Press your low back into the ground, press your shoulder blades into the ground. Put your left foot on the ground and then let your right foot drop over to the left. So don't move your foot from where it is on top of the knee. Slowly just drop it. So a lot of the movements that we did today, there are movements and functions of the body that we use in our everyday life. So focusing on contracting and controlling through the core and having that be our foundation to facilitate the other moves helps to prevent injury, especially the upper back. Bring your legs back to center, other side. The upper back, we can start holding a lot of stress and tension in our neck and shoulders. And then obviously, many of us can experience strain and pain in the low back just through everyday function. So being able to twist and lift and hinge and move all through the spine, the obliques, the hips, while keeping a contracted core, that is going to help save our low back for a much longer time. All right, drop that right foot on the ground and then let your legs drop over to the right. The left foot stays where it is. So it plants on the ground. You kind of feel that stretch through the hip flexor, through the back. All right, rotate back to center. Take both knees and hug them in as tight as you can. Hug them into your chest. The closer that you can get your knees toward one another, then the more stretch you'll get into your hip flexors. All right, from here, just go into either a butterfly stretch, or if you can get your legs over your head, tuck and roll, push your feet back behind you. You can support your low back with your hands, and just see if you can take your feet behind the head. Try your best not to look left or right, just have your face looking straight ahead. Maybe you can get your toes all the way on the ground. Dig into your elbows on the floor a little bit. That's going to help release tension in the neck. So you want to get a stretch through the back, not putting tension in your neck. Bend your knees in next to your ears. Tuck into a tight little ball. Slowly lower down. And then come up. All right, good work.